This gun here actually belonged to Flora Sanders, a woman who took part in the First World War. She was a soldier in her own right. She was actually more than a soldier, she was actually the captain of the army. During the First World War, Flora became part of the Serbian Army. She was originally part of the Serbian Red Cross, and she became part of the Serbian Army for the 2nd Regiment as an ambulance driver. They were fighting against the Austro-Hungarians at this time. In November 1915, the Serbian Army ended up having to retreat once the Austro-German troops ended up invading. In that retreat, Flora unfortunately got separated from her original group and somehow became part of the Serbian Army. And not only that, but she became sergeant of that army. In 1916, Flora ended up getting severely wounded. Today, Flora Sanders has been known as one of the first women to see active combat, or at least one of the first known women to see active combat. She was also promoted to sergeant in her own right as part of the army, which was unheard of for women of that time. It wouldn't be until at least the 2000s that women would actually be allowed to take part in actual combat, but that doesn't mean that women haven't been taking part in combat throughout most of history, just always disguised as men, and not necessarily always having the same story as Flora did. Flora ended up dying at the age of 80 in 1956. This woman has left a legacy that so many young women are trying to follow to this day. It's an amazing story that she has left for us to learn and to know about her journey. She also wrote about her journey of becoming a sergeant during the army. But if you do want to know about her story and many other women as well from the First World War, I would highly recommend this book, Women of the Great War. It talks about different women, the different stories and the different trials and tribulations they had to face and deal with at the time of the First World War. Flora's story is just one of many women that have helped throughout the First World War, and she is definitely a fascinating one. In regards to her gun, you can see it at the Imperial War Museum in Manchester.